If you're feeling down, not even going all the way back, but if you're feeling down or you want to feel re-inspired, what do you turn to? What activities, what books, what readings, what quotes?
So, okay, this is silly, but one of the things I'm doing right now, and it's not silly. It's just, I don't know how people respond to this. Okay.
I like this.
Yeah, I know you're going to like this. So about 2 months ago, I started using AI therapy. Now, a lot of people ask ChatGPT mental health stuff, but there's this app called Sonia, Sonia.ai. And I met the founder at a mental health conference. And he was giving a presentation and explaining how it works and how it's, built on the LLMs, but they've basically taken, every therapist, every case study, every book ever written, put it in there and tried to design. And they call it emotional support. I think for legal reasons, they call it emotional support instead of AI therapy, but it's AI therapy. And so anyways, I was like, well, I've done a lot of therapy. I mean, if anyone's done therapy, I've done a lot of therapy. And one of the things that's really a bummer with therapy is if I have a panic attack, it doesn't happen at 2:00 on a Thursday or 2:00 on a Thursday. It happens at 4 fucking in the morning. And my therapist, I don't care how much money you have, no therapist is answering your call at 4:00 in the morning. And so I was like, wow, because I still struggle with anxiety. I still have these issues that come up, and especially with like launches of new things and, just am I always thinking, am I being good enough dad and all these things. I wake up and I have stress about, oh my gosh, I didn't do this or that. And so now it's like, boom, it's right there at 4 in the morning. And I don't have to do a whole hour session. I could do it for 5 minutes, 10 minutes.
And it works?
It works unbelievable.
So what happens if you go, I'm panicking?
Yeah. So literally, you go in and you get to choose, like, I like to be talked to, like I like a therapist that is like really direct, or I like one that's more like light, or one this. And like you kind of fine tune it. It takes like 10 minutes. And then, of course, as memory, so it never forgets anything. And you tell them what's going on. And like I started off saying, like, this is my core wound. I never felt that I was enough. And so this is what I've done. This is what helped me. I had this mantra-based meditation. I do these things. And so I taught it that. And then I teach it, like, okay, one of my biggest sources of stress is this in my personal life, or this. And so it starts figuring all this out. And so then when I say I'm having a panic attack this morning, it knows what to check in about. Well, how did you sleep, for instance? One of the things that I have is like, I have a really high focus on sleep. And if I don't get good night's sleep, I can feel off. And it feels almost like if I ever have jet lag, it almost feels like depression. Like they kind of feel the same to me. And so it'll check in on my sleep. And then it'll be like, okay, well, like one of the things that we've recognized, like me and the therapist, it's so funny how it talks to you, is like that, you really have a trouble when things get too performative. So when you're having to out there sell or do too much press or too much of that, like that's the old Blake. And it will call it like we've talked enough where it's like, that's the Blake before all the growth. The new Blake likes connection. So are you having enough connection? And this week, what are you doing this week to have more connection?
That's great. So it doesn't just do what like ChatGPT does.
Oh,
no. Like, you're great. You're perfect.
No. It's like so specific. And then it will be, and then if I say, what I'm doing on Thursday this week to have more connection, I'm going to commit to, going on a run with my friend Pat. It'll send me a text message Thursday morning and say, hey, are you doing the run with Pat today?
Are we investing in this company? What's happening?
I want to. I mean, literally, right now, I literally just working with the founders. One of the things I'm also trying to do a lot now is mentor young entrepreneurs, especially if they're building businesses that can help people with their mental health. And so when I met these guys, I was like, hey, like, I don't know. First off, I just wanted to try it myself, and then it was working so well. And then they know the Tom story, and then I presented at the mental health conference, and they're like, "Hey, like, can you help us some?" And so I've been mentoring them. So I might invest. We'll see. But I mean, who knows where this is going? I don't even know if it's gonna be legal. But right now, it's free. It's Sonia.ai, so you can do it right now. It's legal and it's free. I don't know if it will be forever, but yeah.
What about
But that's really helping me. And I guess the point I bring that up is I think what helps me the most is to have a dependable tool, and every tool that works for someone else. So one of my friends who's a recovering alcoholic, still deals with a lot of anxiety, starts to get, out of sorts, cold plunge, or cold shower. That's his tool. Just boom. He won't even like allow himself to call someone or talk to a therapist until he does that first. Right now, this Sonia thing is my tool. And, everyone has a tool, but I think that's the thing I would say is if someone's struggling, find a tool that can interrupt the rumination, the negative thinking, the, all that stuff. And so that's really a big tool for me. And then my other tool is my bracelet. I just have it. I wear it. I talk about it. I, give it out to people all the time. Like, tools are important.
It's a good point. It's a pattern interrupt.
Yeah. That's what we need. Because I think when we get out of sorts, when we start feeling negative thoughts, when we start ruminating, when we, it's all just a pattern. It's just our brain. Like, it's just like the brain is sending, for 40 something years, my brain told me I wasn't enough. And so what I did for 40 days is I did a mantra-based meditation, 20 minutes in the morning, 20 minutes in the evening, where I simply just said, I'm enough. I've always been enough. And I'd like laugh because it was so silly. And it felt stupid for the first couple of weeks. And then it started working. I started feeling it. But all I did was just change that pattern.
I love that. Yeah. I just had Tony Robbins on the podcast.
Oh, great. I love
met him.
We've met briefly once. We've never spent any time together. I want to have him on my podcast.
Oh, you should.
Because he talks a lot about feeling enough.
Oh, yeah. And he has one of, I think, like the most intense presences of anybody that I've met. And so I was at his house and we spent a good amount of time with him. And I remember like when he walked in the room, I was like, whoa, like that.
He's a big guy, right?
But we've had a lot of big, there's a lot of big guys. Yeah. But what really took me away is like that man is locked in. I was like, oh, fuck, he knows what's going on in here. He's like so locked in. Yeah. And then, kind of similar to you, he was like, it was a lot of curiosity, which you seem to have the same thing. Yeah. Like, why are you this way? Why am I this way? And then once I figure it out, how do I put a tool in place to figure out the solution? Yeah. Which I think is really interesting, but he would be great for your podcast. Yeah. One of the other things I wanted to ask you about, like now it's so interesting to me that you could have ever been in this dark place because the way you come off is like so much joy to be, so much like, big, huge energy for life.
Crazy.
And so I was wondering, like, today, what has you so excited? Obviously this, but like when you wake up in the morning, is it that you're going to go surf that day? Is it that you get to build again?
I think what has me most excited about life right now is service. It's just like I'm getting to help people again. I know right now, this podcast, there's 1,000% chance that there's someone listening who's really in a tough place. There's also probably people that are feeling stuck, feeling uninspired, feeling insecure. Like I felt those things. For years, I didn't have one business idea for 7 years. Yeah. For 2 years, I was a shell of myself. My friends say literally they look in my eyes and there was no one there. I couldn't even raise my voice to this octave for 2 years. And so because I felt that way and it was so scary and it was so recent, that I think I wake up now and I'm kind of like,
how do you engineer your life? Like, it almost seems like you've adventured your entire career. It's one of the things I struggle
Adventure?
with. Yeah.
I do. I always make time for adventure.
But so in my business, we were just talking about this and I'm like, man, when I'm in my little entrepreneurship grind, it's kind of all I do. Yeah. Like I'm so deep in it. And I talk to a lot of people it's the same. They're just like, they grind every single day. Yeah. And you seem like a type of person who has always integrated sort of the rest of life into it.
Yeah.
How do you do that?
Two things. One is I really schedule joy. So I believe that like a lot of people hope for joy or awe or these big moments to come to them. Like I put it on the calendar the same way you have a board meeting. Like I'm like, for 1 week a month, I'm going surfing. Now you can't surf all day long. So I'll surf from 5 in the morning till 10, get my joy. I'll do Zoom calls from 10 to 4. And me and my lady will go for a walk on the beach. We'll have a nice dinner. We'll do, a sunset. And that's my day. Mm-hmm. And that is like as important as the press week in New York last week. And so I really, really schedule that. And that's, that's nice that I can go somewhere, say where there's surf or whatever. Not every person can do that. But what is that for you? Like, what is that joy? Is it taking guitar lessons? Is it learning something new on YouTube? Like, what is that thing? Because if you don't schedule that, then like, what's the purpose? What's the point? Because
do you do it every day too?
No, I wish. If I'm really, really like operating a 10 out of 10, then I'm like making sure I protect a couple hours, early in the morning to usually it's physical activity or it's playing golf, like 9 holes at sunset, with my son or with my friends or whatever.
Yeah.
So,
but it's at least once a month. So it's
but
like
once a month,
schedule joy.
I try to schedule a month. Now, don't I always get a week? No, but I definitely get at least a 4 days. There's not a month that goes by that I don't have 4 days where I'm just like, see ya.
And do you always do something weird? Like going to India or like surf? It's not just like, it seems like
that's more my personality than I think what I would share. Like going back to how do we help the person who's listening to this and focusing on them? Like, yes, I do a lot of just crazy adventures because that's just always how I've been. Like, I've always been, racing cars or climbing mountains I like the adrenaline of those things. But also I think you can schedule this, if someone's just like, I love reading and I'm going to schedule 4 days where I go, it could be like you go camping. It could cost nothing. And I'm just going to sit and read the books that I've been wanting to read for 2 years, or I'm going to go and just like one thing I did that was, I guess it was a little bit out there, but very simple was I hiked the Camino Trail for a week with Alejo this summer. So we just walked for a week. We didn't run.
I'm a big walker.
Yeah. We just walked. We got up, walked, ate, walked. Like it was the most boring thing I've ever done. And one of the most profound because my whole nervous system reset and I was able to process the depression and all the things I went through and the pain I caused others and the pain others caused me. And I was able to forgive them and forgive myself. And I was like, man, this is better than any therapy retreat I've ever been to. And all I did for a week was walk.
I love that.
Yeah. And so I think it could be, I did that in Spain, but I could have done that, in Marin where I live,
Yeah.
So I think that
actually,
yeah,
I just looked up. This is so funny, but my hobby this year is literally more walking because I like thinking a lot while walking. But do you know that there are 52 trails in the US where you can do more than a 7-day walk that are supposed to be seen as highly scenic?
Yeah.
And you can camp along them. So like if you chat GPT it right now, anybody listening, totally free, maybe $12 to camp.
Yeah.
And then you can go for a walk.
Yeah.
Maybe we can start walking all around the country and having beautiful ideas while you do it and not being sedentary like your chair.
Exactly.
So that we can get all our steps
Sitting
in.
is the new smoking.
Who knew?
Yeah.
Walking episode.
Here's the slogan I'm pitching. We're talking to the chair company. I'll see what you think as a business person. Really simple. Never still.
Oh, God, that's true. Plus, I'm into that. I don't like being still.
Yeah. So now when you're sitting, the other thing about the chair thing, not to make this all about that, but they're going to love this. So they thought it was to help, with get people, not being still, help with the back pain, help with the, but what they found, like the biggest hack is people have ADHD. Because what happens, do you?
Totally.
So you know how like if you really focus on something, you kind of need to be doing something else.
Oh, totally.
You like to fidget, you like this, you doodle, you ring. So they've shown that you can really focus. Well, we've done all this research to show that by sitting in this chair, your body is just doing this kind of, you can barely see it, and it allows you to hyper focus on whatever you're doing. So
sold.
Yeah, you're getting one for sure.
I'm totally sold.
And hopefully all your guests will be sitting in one.
Okay, so I want to leave the person listening here that like just needs to listen to Blake today, like your parting words. So like there's that person out there, you have something to imbue to them. What comes to you first? What do you want to leave the listener?
I just think that what I want to say is that it will pass. No matter what you're going through, no matter how hard it is, like it will get better. It always does if you just hang on and you take the steps to do the things. So go out for the walk, reach out to a friend, journal for 30 seconds, not even 5 minutes, just 30 seconds of something that you're appreciative of. But no matter how hard it is, it will pass. I didn't think it was going to pass. I thought I was trapped. I thought I'd made too many mistakes. I had too much shame. And that's why I had such dark thoughts. But looking back now, I'm like, it was always going to pass. I just had to hold on. I just had to start doing one thing at a time. I just had McConaughey on my podcast. And he talks about one in a row. Just get one in a row today. And so that would be my advice is like knowing like, or not even advice, just I want you to hear that it will pass and it will get better. But you got to do the work. You got to put it in.
Like, who would have thought? Least interesting thing about you is that you sold your company for $600 million. Least interesting. Thank you so much for being here today. I
got to give you a bracelet before we're done.
Oh, we're going to do it right now.
Absolutely.
I love this.
So here we go. So we take one out. This is for you. And it says, so you got to make sure I do this right. Yep. So open your palm.
Okay.
Okay. And for those who are listening, I'm putting enough bracelets.
Matches my outfit today. I didn't even wear it on purpose.
And
I love this.
I'm going to read you something. Okay. So this is a little poem. Do you know the poet NQ?
Mm-mm.
So he's an amazing poet, friend of mine. And I said, how do I share this with someone besides just giving it to him? Like if I really want them to feel this, then what can we say? So here it is. So Codie, I see you, the you behind the you, not for anything you've done or anything you're going to do. I don't stop to say it enough, but I believe in you. And if you could see yourself from my view, you'd believe it too. That's why I'm giving you the gift that I'm receiving too. A message to remind you when you're lost or feeling blue. A mantra to repeat when times are tough. Because no matter who we are always enough. It's a silent prayer I'm sending for the world's mental health. I wear the symbol for myself and now as a bond to someone else.